All right, let's dive right in. Look, don't just memorize dates. Learn the power of knowing what's going on so you can manage your future capital, exactly like the universe manages energy. If you're an adult seeking your GED, or maybe you're just trying to catch up on an education that the system kind of left behind, well, this explainer is built specifically for you.
We really need to reframe how you think about studying for your high school equivalency. We've got to shift that mindset from merely working to survive to truly working to live. Because honestly, this isn't about rote memorization. It's not about just checking a box for a parole board. It's about gaining this massive, overarching framework for how reality actually operates so you can navigate it to your absolute advantage.
So, here's the reality we face, especially in environments like the Colorado Department of Corrections. The data shows us that the average reading level in secure facilities hovers right around a 4th to 5th grade benchmark. But to truly engage with the world and with really complex ideas, you need to be reading at an 11th or 12th grade level. That's a 7.0 grade level gap. Bridging that gap, that's not just about passing a test. It is literally the first, most absolutely crucial step to unlocking your ultimate potential.
And the crucial point here, you are not doing this empty-handed. State resources like Chromebooks loaded with software, wages reentry grants, Pell Grant pathways, that's your tangible scaffolding. Real funding and real infrastructure actually exist, and they're designed specifically to help transition you back into society as a highly capable individual.
So let's map these resources directly onto our Blueprint Schematic. To accelerate your learning, we're going to break down the 4 core pillars of the GED: science, math, history, and language.
All right, kicking things off with Pillar 1, science. We're talking energy, thermodynamics, and the hostile universe. This isn't just about memorizing the parts of a cell, it's about understanding how the entire universe manages energy.
Isaac Newton famously talked about standing on the shoulders of giants, which perfectly captures how science is just this continuously building process of human observation. And guess what? You are a part of that process now. Anyone can draw a million wild conclusions from just one single observation, but a million observations? That leaves only one conclusion. You learn science to stop relying on what other people tell you and start rigorously observing the world for yourself.
To put this into perspective, astrophysicists estimate we've got about 5 billion years until our sun goes out, which pretty much proves the universe is inherently hostile and governed by strict, unbreakable rules, like the second law of thermodynamics. In plain English, things naturally fall apart. Everything naturally tends toward entropy or chaos. So to survive, life literally has to actively organize itself against that breakdown.
To truly master the science section, you've got to understand how these fundamental cosmic laws apply right here, right now on Earth. All matter is essentially just concentrated energy, and today we're facing massive modern energy demands. Just to power AI data centers takes electricity equal to over 7 nuclear power plants. No way, right? But understanding science helps you grasp exactly why humanity desperately needs diverse energy sources just to keep the whole shebang running.
Moving right along to Pillar 2, math. Capital, inflation, and algorithmic labor. Listen, math isn't just a bunch of random letters and algebra problems you're never going to use again. It is the fundamental language of capital and systems.
Because understanding math is exactly how you understand money. If you don't grasp inflation and fiat currency, which is really just everyday paper money, you're going to get left behind. Ever since we dropped the gold standard back in 1971, the money supply has just continuously expanded. Basic math tells us that printing more money thins out the supply, which makes everything way more expensive. Hard assets hold their structural value. Paper dollars just lose it.
Think of math as your personal financial radar. Advanced operators, they track specific models. For instance, they watch for when certain investment returns sustainably drop below 40%. That specific mathematical threshold is a giant red alert that a major economic shift is happening. So math isn't just dry formulas, it's the ultimate insider tool for reading the economy and protecting your future capital.
Plus, we're entering the era of the AI workforce. Robots and algorithms operate 24/7. They don't complain to HR, they don't need sleep, and AI is already out there doing high-frequency trading in financial markets. So, are you going to be ready? With a stagnation of young workers and algorithms outpacing traditional labor, mastering math is your primary shield. It's how you literally prevent yourself from being automated right out of the economy. Okay, let's jump into Pillar 3, history, stardust to human consciousness. Seriously, forget about just memorizing the dates of dusty old wars.
Your history is actually this epic, multi-billion-year cosmic journey.
We're talking going all the way back 13.8 billion years to the Big Bang, tracing the formation of the Earth 4.5 billion years ago, tracking the evolution of early primates all the way up to present-day human consciousness. The literal elements and chemicals in your body, forged in the dense, blazing hot cores of dying stars. You are literally stardust capable of contemplating its own existence. Now that is real history.
The philosophy here is pretty simple. Change is synonymous with living. The universe is expanding, time is always moving forward, and nothing stands still. Every single decision you make is part of this continuous, interconnected cosmic story. When you view history through that lens, memorizing facts about human civilization, like the rise and fall of empires or the framing of the Constitution, it becomes this endlessly fascinating study of how we survived, adapted, and organized ourselves over time.
And finally, we hit Pillar 4, language. Perception, deception, and scaffolding. This right here is the ultimate tool for shaping perception and defending yourself against deception.
There's this fantastic quote often attributed to Winston Churchill about the ability to tell someone to go to hell in such a way that they actually look forward to the trip. It just perfectly shows how incredibly powerful tact and language really are. A skilled wordsmith can frame the exact same event as a complete disaster or an absolute triumph purely through their diction and tone. If you don't master language, you're constantly going to be manipulated by those who do, whether that's the media, politicians, or the economic system itself.
And that is exactly why elevating your reading level and closing that 7.0 literacy gap is so absolutely vital. It's the key to escaping that trap of memorizing facts and remaining vulnerable. It's how you move from merely working to survive to truly working to live. Mastering language and systems lets you filter out all that noise. You protect your mind, and you empower yourself to confidently manage your own future.
So, by utilizing the technological resources available right now, like those C.Dot Chromebooks and the essential education software, your GED prep totally stops being a chore. It becomes a true intellectual accelerator. You're taking those 4 GED pillars and filtering them through the real-world mechanics of energy, money, history, and language, applying scientific and economic realities straight to your future capital.
You now have the scaffolding. The universe is waiting, so how are you going to build your future? Make the choice today to move from working to survive to working to live. And for those on the outside watching who want to support this mission, please donate copies of educational materials to your local facility at GoFundMe/135982731. Keep learning, keep pushing forward, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.